This is our Ohio State draft preview for the 2018 NFL Draft. In past years, we did Ring the Bell, where we put up an Ohio State player and three of us had to sit here and ring the bell when we wanted to draft the guy. This year, a little different. We're turning in a card, old business cards with my PD Buckeyes Twitter handle. We each are writing down when we would draft a player. We're doing one player at a time. We're doing 11 separate videos to preview the draft. We're going to start off with Jerome Baker. We've each written down at which pick we take him. Now we're going to turn in the card and see who gets him and then explain why. Let's turn in the card on Jerome Baker. Who got him?
That would be me.
Tim Bielik.
I had him number 65 to the Buffalo Bills. I admit I was wrestling a little bit whether the hometown Browns would keep him in state at 64. And I think the reason I have Baker there is he's raw, but he did himself a lot of favors at the NFL Combine at Pro Day. If you look at his SPARQ score, he is number 7 among linebackers off the line of scrimmage, percentile 85.8, which is pretty darn good. It's a deep group of athletic linebackers, and I think Buffalo has needs at linebacker. Buffalo does have a good defense, so they can afford, I think, to bring Baker along slowly, which would be a good situation for him, one where he doesn't have to start right away, get him involved in special teams, put him in sub-packages while he really digests an NFL defense. But the raw athletic attributes are there. It's just going to be up to coaching staff to continue to develop him into something good.
Coincidentally, that's the pick that Buffalo got from the Browns for Tyrod Taylor. That's the first pick of the third round, number 65. Tim Bielik takes Jerome Baker. Where'd you take him?
Third round, number 73 to Miami. I agree with all the things that Tim said. Jerome Baker is an incredible athlete, and that's going to get him drafted maybe a little higher than his production suggests he should. But if I'm an NFL team, I do have some mild concerns about how Jerome Baker played, especially at the start of his junior season. He was not very good. Now, you can blame some of that on losses at the position around him. You can blame some of it on his position coaching. But I think some of it goes to Jerome Baker, too. I just don't know if he came into his final season at Ohio State with the right mindset. Now, he finished well. I thought he finished pretty strong. So I have him going to Miami, which would put him with Raekwon McMillan, who should be the starting inside linebacker for the Dolphins next year. And I don't think it was a coincidence that Jerome Baker's best year at Ohio State came when Raekwon McMillan was playing next to him. So I think you try to refine that magic again.
The third round lasts from pick 65 to pick 100. I would bet a lot of money that Jerome Baker's a third-round pick. I think his film keeps him out of the second round. I think his scores, his athleticism, keeps him out of the fourth round. I have him number 91 to New Orleans. I don't know if this is a thing. Teams taking Ohio State guys. Some teams get clusters. New Orleans has Von Bell. New Orleans has Marshawn Lattimore. New Orleans has Michael Thomas. New Orleans has been very happy with the Ohio State guys they've drafted lately. I just think, as much as we all love the draft process, film is number 1. And I just think, and Jerome Baker told us this himself, that he didn't think he had the year he wanted to have. I just think the film might raise enough questions that, again, when you're looking at him compared to another guy, you see a really good player and a really good athlete, you're just not quite sure about pulling the trigger. I just think he might fall a little bit. Not out of the third, but to late in the third to New Orleans at 91.